Hey guys, GLBoca here. I'm going to do that equipment review that I was talking about in the last video. Actually, it's a custom-made piece of equipment that most of you probably wouldn't have any use for, but I thought before I showed you it and did a little review, I would tell you what led me to building this piece of equipment. I and my wife actually like to travel on the motorcycle quite a bit, and camping is a way that I actually like to spend our time off the bike instead of motels. It seems to me that part of the attraction to riding on a motorcycle or traveling on a motorcycle not only is all the obvious things, but it's also the meeting of people. You right away seem to have a camaraderie with people you don't know. People that either ride motorcycles or at least interested in riding motorcycles or interested in people who ride motorcycles. So you pull into a gas station, I'm sure all of you had this happen, you pull into a gas station, you pull over to eat somewhere, and somebody notices the motorcycle, and maybe a conversation is started because you're on a bike. Anyway, at the end of the day, when you're done traveling on the bike and it's time to rest up for the evening, if you choose to go to a motel, what generally happens is you go lock yourself in a closet and you shut yourself off from the world until the next day when you come out and get on a bike. Whereas, in my opinion, when you go camping, you don't have that happen. You actually are still exposing yourself to the world, and if that's the right term, at least you're still open to meet people. And I have to admit that on many occasions at a campground, I've in conversation with other people camping there, not motorcycle people, but other people camping there, you've gotten a lot more insight into the area, the local area where you're at, and actually been turned on to and sent to see or do things that I would not have done. I wouldn't have been aware of it. I wouldn't have known. Probably wouldn't have saw it watching TV in a motel room. And so the fact that you're in a campground, you're talking to your neighbors, you're walking around the campground, you're taking part in conversations with people who are ultimately probably more familiar with the local surroundings than you are yourself. And this is getting awful long and awful windy, but as I aged, camping became a little more uncomfortable. Because the way that we used to do it was a smaller tent, an air mattress, pretty much laying on the ground on an air mattress, and the sleeping part of it was fine, but it was everything else, getting dressed and all that became very difficult. So in order to maintain a certain level of comfort while we were camping, I needed to change my gear, which meant really a bigger tent, one that I could stand up in, and actually one that had room to put cots in. Because sleeping on cots ultimately is a lot better than sleeping on the ground for a magnitude of reasons. One of which is it's just a more comfortable way to sleep, but the other is getting dressed, getting undressed, stowing your gear underneath the cots, all becomes a easier a way to do things and a more comfortable ultimately. So when I actually got a bigger tent and some cots, all of a sudden the camping became much more enjoyable again. And but hauling the equipment on my bike was more difficult. These cots are pretty big, pretty hard to stow on a bike. Even though I'm riding a Goldwing, it's pretty hard to stow these cots. I didn't want a trailer because I didn't really want the burden that comes with a trailer. I didn't want to have to choose where I parked it and the cumbersome part of a trailer. I know that a lot of the guys who pull trailers say, well, you don't even know that they're there. And that's probably true, but I didn't need that much room. I just needed a little more room than what I had on my bike. So that led me to come up with this particular device on a Goldwing. I actually have a trailer hitch, and with a trailer hitch you can add an accessory like this one that we built here. So with that in mind, we're going to go over to my place. We're going to go down the basement where my bike is, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay guys, here we are in the basement of the Boca Vista. This is where I live. This is where the motorcycle lives. And actually it's a nice place for a motorcycle to live in the winter time. So this was the dilemma that I had. When I changed my camping gear, it got a little bigger and bulkier. This is the tent. The last tent I had was about half that size I packed up. And these are those cots I was telling you about. About this big, they weigh about 13 pounds a piece. And there really wasn't an easy place or a decent place to put them on the bike. So let me show you the remedy that I came up with. Okay, so here it is. It's a hitch hauler. I'm sure most of you guys don't have any use for anything like this, but I tell you what, it sure makes camping with the type of gear that I picked out a lot more comfortable and a lot easier to pack on the bike. I'm able to stick the tent up on the top rack here, and then in the hitch hauler, I put both of my cots and both of our sleeping bags, and I have a fold-up cooler that I put in there too. That works out real well. So I'm going to grab the camera and give you guys a little more of a close-up from the back of the bike so you can see what it looks like. There goes in the trailer hitch, and when it's all mounted, it actually leaves my taillights on the top trunk exposed so you can see turn signals and brake lights. And there's the rack with the tent on it. Obviously this stuff would be all bungee down if we were traveling, but that's it. I'm sure you won't need one, but there it is. And here's another piece of equipment that you guys probably don't have. It's a little pillow, sticks underneath my big ass when I'm riding down the road.